What's up, you data friends? It's Yanis here and welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to go over a practical example of an SQL test that you might get in an interview. And this is actually a difficult one, so let me know how you find it in the comments below. We have about 20 minutes to answer these 5 questions, so that's about 4 minutes per question. And in the video, I'm going to go over question by question and try to explain the reasoning behind answering each question. So if I go here at the top, I'm going to upload both the raw data and this code in my GitHub page. So feel free to download this and practice with me. If you don't have SSMS installed, then I suggest watching this video to install SSMS. And if you need a more complete SQL tutorial, I suggest watching this video over here. And before we jump into this video, let me just say that if you're passionate about data analytics and data science, then please consider liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and enable notifications for my future videos. Right, the first thing you should do as soon as you get the test is to familiarize yourself with the raw data. So over here we have 3 tables. The first table has information about cars and their retail price, which is this table you see over here. The second table has the used prices of the cars. So this is the second table. And then the third table has some additional information about the cars. So this is our third table over here. The first thing you should notice is that all of them have this column called index, which is basically the key column we are going to use for our joins. Right, starting with our first question. So this is the answers, but down here I have just the questions. It says, what is the average retail price for make and model for the years 2023 and 2024? Premium trim and horsepower more than 400. Order this descending. So the first thing we should do is to identify the tables and the columns we are going to use. So make and model come from our first table, make, model. Years, which is basically going to be a condition, comes from the first table too. Premium trim comes from the first table too, we can see it. And horsepower more than 400 comes from our third table, which is this horsepower column over here, which is actually text that we have to convert to a number and then use it as a filter. So let's start with our first table. Over here, I'm going to copy this, paste it, and I'm going to add make first, like this. I need the make, comma, I need the model, like this, paste, comma. I need years, which I don't need them here. I need them as a condition. So I'm going to add it in the where clause. So over here, I'm going to say where year in, and then in the brackets. So actually in, and then in the brackets, I'm going to have 2023 and 2024. Something to be careful here is that these two numbers are actually stored as numbers. This is why the query is going to work. However, sometimes the data type is text and you have a number. In those cases, you need to be careful and actually use the codes. Otherwise, it's not going to work. But in my case, that's a number, so this is going to work. Next, I need to have premium trim. So I also need to add an end here in the where clause and say end trim like. I'm going to use the like function here because I have a lot of different premiums in here. So I'm just going to say like, and then in the codes, and then in the percentage sign, I'm going to say like premium, like this. Premium is no case sensitive, but I'm still going to change it. What else do we need? And horsepower, so I need another end over here. And in order to answer this now, I'm going to need to create a sub query that only selects data that have a horsepower more than 400. So our key column is index, so I'm going to say and index in, and in this subquery now, I'm going to select the distinct index from our third table, which is this one, from this table, like this paragraph, yeah, there, from here, and then I'm going to say where the horsepower is more than 400. Now this is not going to work because this is a text, it's not a number. So first I have to make it a number, which is this one over here. So I need to say left horsepower, comma 3. So the first 3 characters is more than 400. If we quickly do, let's run all first. So I'm just going to cut this. Let's do all so I can showcase to you what this is doing. There you go. You can see that all horsepower now is more than 400. And then if I go back, I'm selecting the distinct index. So this subquery only have indexes, cars that have more than 400 horsepower. And this is actually one of our conditions. So this is answering our question. So we need the make and the model for years 2023, 2024, premium trim, horsepower more than 400, correct, which is this one. And then we also need to order descending. Oh, we are missing the average retail price. So over here, we need to say AVG, so average, and then retail price. Copy this, paste it over here. Close brackets. This is retail price as retail price, but this is the actually average AVG retail price. And then we need a group by because we have an aggregation. So group by and then make and model, paste, and then run. There we go. So we have the average retail price per make and model for years 2023 and 2024. Premium trim, horsepower more than 400, horsepower more than 400. Right, moving on, we have our next question that says create a rank column based on the invoice price per model in the main table. So our main table is this one over here. I'm just going to copy it and paste it quickly and then select it. We basically need to create a new column over here, which is going to be the rank of invoice price. So from highest to lowest, have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then etc, etc. To do this, we need to say select all from our table. I'm going to say comma here and then create our rank. So I'm going to say rank over here, over, and then here I need to say order the data by. So order by. I need to use the invoice price column. So this is the correct column. I also want to say is null and then comma 0 in case we have 0 values, which we do. Order by invoice price and then descending over here, so highest to lowest, close this and then name this as invoice price rank, so invoice price rank. And then if we run the whole thing, there you go, you can see we have the most expensive invoice price car, which is this Audi R8 over here, and then the second most expensive, and then it goes down all the way to the zeros, which get the same rank because they do not have an invoice price. Right, moving on to the next question. It says show the total retail price, average use price, cylinders and horsepower per model that has highway fuel economy less than 40 miles per gallon. Now, if we select all of our raw data just to identify the tables we are going to use, I think we need all tables because we have retail price coming from our first table. Then we have average use price, which is coming from our second table. And we also have cylinders and horsepower that comes from our third table over here. So horsepower and also cylinders over here. To do this now, we're going to need to run 3 different joins. And I'm going to start with our first. So I'm going to say select all. Actually, I'm going to copy all of this, paste it down here. And I'm going to say, I'm going to start with all, but then I'm going to work my way through. So this is our A. Then I'm going to run a left join. And then this is going to be our B. And then this is going to be our C, but I need the left join too. So copy this, paste, this is going to be our C. And then I also need to join them on the index. So on A.index equals B.index. So I'm going to copy this. Actually, I'm going to add the square brackets just in case I get an error like this. And then I need the same thing over here on A equals C. Nice. So now we need to start selecting the things we want. So we want the model to start with from table a.model, make this capital, and then we need to sum the total retail price. So we're going to say sum, and over here we need the retail price. So I'm going to copy this, paste it, and then say as sum underscore retail price, and this is coming from A again. Then we need the average used price. So I'm just going to say comma over here, and then say AVG, and then bring the used price. So where is it? Used price coming from B underscore, and then this is B, and then close brackets, and then say as, and this is the AVG used price, like this. What else do we need? Average use price. Then we need to bring cylinders and horsepower. So cylinders comes from C dot cylinders, comma, let's use lowercase, and then we also need horsepower. So this is C dot horsepower, comma, again lowercase, per model, which is this one that has highway fuel economy, which is this column over here, less than 40 miles per gallon. So to do this, we basically need to say in the where clause over here, I need to say where C dot, so C dot highway fuel economy, which is this one. Actually, I need to say where left, because we need to make this a number. It's actually a text. So I'm going to say where left highway fuel economy, comma 2 is less than 40. And then let's run this. There is an error. Oh, the error is the comma. So if we run this, oh, we are missing the group by, sorry, where, and then group by, sorry, I mean capitals, group by, and then we need these three, copy, paste, and then run this. There we go. So we have the model, the cylinders, and the horsepower. We have the sum of retail price, which is the total retail price. We have the average use price per model, that's correct. And then we also say where highway fuel economy is less than 40. So we have successfully answered this question. We have a few nulls here, and this is because we have missing data in the used price. And in order to remove them, we can actually say end over here, and then say b.use price is not null, but this is going to remove all the rows like this, which we do not want. But you can just add it like this in case you want to showcase you know how to do this. Right, moving on to the next question now. It says create a new category for the retail price using the following. And here we have the ranges that we need to use for this new category. Show the number of cars per make and category. So we need to aggregate the data based on this new category we create. And we also get some bonus points for a pivot table output. So this is a bit more advanced, but we are going to showcase it. Right, to do this, first we need to create that new category. So we are going to select everything from our main table, which is this one over here, and then visualize our data like this. Let's create some more space. So we need to say select all from our table, add a comma here, and this is where we are going to create this new category. We are going to say case. I'm going to use case, but you can also use if, because it's only 3 conditions. So I'm going to say case, and then I'm going to say when, and then retail price, which is, where is it? Over here. When retail price is less than 50K, then I want to add this as our answer. So I'm going to copy this, paste it, then I'm going to copy my when, I'm going to add it down here, and then I'm going to say when retail price is more or equal to 50,000, and also I'm going to say and retail price is less than what is it, 100K, 1, 2, 3. Then I want to give this as answer. and then I need another one when the retail price, I'm going to copy this, paste it, retail price is more or equal to 100K. So over here I'm going to say 100, 1, 2, 3. Then I want to say more than 100K. Else, over here I'm going to add the else. I'm just going to say other. I don't think we do have an else, but we're going to add it. And then I'm going to say end as, and then this is the, what is it? The retail price category new column. So I'm going to say retail price underscore, and then over here I'm going to say categories or category like this. And then if we select this, you can see that we now have the new category. The next thing we should do now is to aggregate our data based on this new category. So I am going to wrap all of this around A. So I'm going to name this as A. I'm going to push it in, and then on top I'm going to say select. Over here we need to select, I think, the make and the new category. So we're going to say make, comma, this new category we have just created, like this. This is going to be from, and over here I need to aggregate the data by saying count, and then distinct, what am I going to count? The distinct index, because each index is a car. So index, count distinct index, that's correct, close it, as NO of cars. So NO of cars. So this is the number of cars. And then say from, and this is A. So if we run this, we're going to get an error because we need a group by. So we're going to say group by, and then make and the category like this. And then if we run this, you can see that we get the make. So we get the make, we get the category, and then we also get the distinct number of cars per this new category, as you can see. Now, if I want to do the bonus for pivot table output, I'm going to put it down here. First, we need to manually specify all the categories we have, and this is going to be our y-axis at the top, and we're going to use make as our x-axis, and then in between we're going to have the grid, which is going to be the number of cars. So to do this, I'm just going to say select, and then I'm going to select the make, comma. Now I have to manually specify our categories. So I'm going to say this one is going to be my 50K as a new column. This one is going to be my 50 to 100 as another column, comma. I don't need the codes like this. Oh, I also need to name them. So this one is going to be as, sorry, I forgot to name them as, I'm going to say less than 50K. This one is going to be as, I'm going to say 50 to, or I can't start with a number, so I'm just going to add A at the beginning. So A 50 to 100K, and then my last one is this one. Where is it? 100K. So this one is going to be my last one. I'm going to say as more than 100K, like this. And then I need to say from, and this is where I'm going to copy and paste what I created above here from this. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to add it into brackets though. And then down here, I need to say pivot, and then open brackets, and then sum the number of cars over here for, like this, category, the retail price category in. And then over here is where I'm going to add the three categories we have. So this one, comma, this one, comma, and then this one over here, like this, and then close the brackets. And then if we run this now, we get an error, and this is because, oh, I have to name this. I have to say as, and then maybe say pivot. And then if we select the whole thing again, let's see. What is the issue here? Is people, let me see, category, from, then this, oh, missing A, I have to name this, I have to say from A. Let's test this now. Ah, there we go. So now we have our pivot table. Something else we can quickly do is to add the is nulls and replace this with zeros so it looks nicer. So we can say is null over here and then comma 0. close this. Is not comma 0. Yeah, this is going to work. And then another one for the 50 to 100 comma 0, close. And then if we run this again, there we go. So we are able to get the bonus points too. Right, and the last question we have, which is the most difficult one, it says create another column on the main dataset that has the average use prices per make for the models or index, so per row, that have null values in the used price. And used price come from our second table. We also get a bonus tip over here to use common table expressions. We can also achieve this by using temp tables, but we are going to use CTEs for this one. So what this is basically asking us, let me select the two tables. Let me actually copy them and bring them down here, over here, and let's select them. So this is asking us to first identify all the models that do not have a use price, and then replace that value with the average use price of other models. So some of these A3s, for example, do have a use price and others do not. And the question is asking us to use the average per model to update all the models that have missing used price. To do this, we need to do a few calculations. So we're going to start by saying with, and then create our first table, which we are going to name it as average prices. So we need to calculate the average prices first, that we then going to use to update all the cars. So I'm going to name this as AVG underscore prices, like this, and let's say as, and then I'm going to create my query over here. To do this, I need to say select. We need it per make, is that correct? Yeah, select, copy, and then make over here, comma, then write average our used price, which is this one over here. So I'm going to say average used price, which is going to come from B actually. So this is B, this is A. Average use price as AVG use price, and then I'm going to say from this is our A, left join, this is our B, like this, and then we need a group by, and then A.make. We also need on A.index equals B.index. We do have it somewhere. There we go. Like this. So B, and then if we select our first common table expression, there we go. So we have the averages per make. Some of them do not have at all. So we can either leave them in or exclude them. I'm going to leave them in for now. Now I'm going to say comma, and we're going to move on to create our second table. And this table now is the table that has all the indexes that do not have a used price. So I need to select everything from table A that does not exist in table B. And when I say everything, we just need the indexes that we're then going to update with the average price. To do this, I'm going to name this as missing used prices. So missing used prices, and then I'm going to say as, and over here I'm going to create my table. So I'm going to say select A dot let's do make, because it's per make, comma B dot used price, like this. What else do I need? Oh, I also need the index, because that's the one I'm going to use to update. So I'm going to say A.index, comma, like this, that's fine. And then I'm going to say from, and then I'm going to use exactly the same query as we have over here. The only difference is that over here I'm going to say where, and then I'm going to say B.usePrice is not null. And the reason we are saying this is not null is because we want to identify all the A indexes that do not have a use price. There is an error over here, which I don't know what. Let's see. Yeah, it says there is an error. Oh, this is this square bracket over here. Sorry, if we run this quickly. There we go. Oh, well, it's not null. Actually, we need the null values, not the ones that have is null. Sorry. If I run this again, there we go. So those are the indexes that we need to update with the average price coming from this table over here. So any Aston Martin index that does not have a price, it needs to get this average price. To do this, I need to create another table down here, and I'm going to call this as updating missing prices. So let's do updating missing prices. And then I'm going to say as, and in here I'm going to select I'm going to say m from missing dot index like this, comma m dot make, and this is going to come from our missing used prices, because these index and make are the ones we need to update. So I'm going to name this as m, and I'm also going to run a left join on the where is it, the average prices common table expression, and I'm going to say on a dot make, because make is the column we are going to use to join them, on a dot make equals, and then this is no, sorry, this is m dot make equals, I'm going to name this as table B, for example, b dot make like this, and I'm also going to take the average use prices coming from B, which this is average prices, this is B average prices. So what this is doing is taking the index from this table, the make from this table, which has the indexes and cars we need to update with the average price, and then it's taking the average price from table B, which is this one over here. I cannot run it now because I need to run the whole CTE together. So I'm just going to close this, and then down here is where we are going to write our complete query. So down here I'm going to say select, I'm going to say a dot all, and then our A is going to be our main table, which is this one over here. A dot all, I'm going to name this as A. I'm going to left join this A with our updated prices, which is this one over here. So I'm going to say left join, and then this one is going to be our B, and then I'm going to say on a dot index, which is this one over here, equals b dot index. So I'm just going to copy, where is it, the index, A and B, like this. Yeah, there we go. And then from B we need to take this average use price, which is the updated price. So I'm just going to say as updated price, like this. And then if we run this quickly, there is an, oh sorry, we need to run the whole thing. Yep, there we go. We see a lot of nulls over here, and it's because everything that has null actually has a use price. So what we can do to complete this is we can also left join, and then we are going to join the actual used prices, which is this one over here. Left join, I'm going to say this one as C, like this, and then I'm going to say on a.index equals c.index, and then from C I'm actually going to bring c.used price, which is the original use price. Actually, let's put this after, so I'm going to move this, so cut like this, and then this is the updated price, and then I'm also going to say is null, so I'm going to combine them together. I'm going to start with the actual use price, and if it's null, I want it to use the average use price, and I'm going to name this as combined used average price. From there, yeah, let's run the whole thing. There we go. So as you can see, these ones, they have a use price coming from B, and these ones, they don't, so they get the average. And this column, the combine, it just combines this one or this one depending if they have value. Now this is quite difficult of a question, but I thought I'm going to throw a very difficult one and see how you do. Right, so this is it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed this video and you've gained enough value out of this video. If you feel like you did, then I would really appreciate it if you click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and enable notifications for my future videos. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know how much time it took you to complete this test and if I should do an even more difficult test in the future. Right, thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next video.